Hey, what's up everyone? This is Silver Slayer. We are about to find out a lot about each other in this video. You're about to find out a lot about yourself in this video. Why, you ask? This is a poll video. I need every single one of you to participate and vote so we can get the most accurate data to review. So I want you to ask yourself, what price are you willing to sell your silver? How about this? I'm going to kick the intro while you think about this for a second. So what is it? $30? $50? 70? 100? 300? I really want to know what price you're willing to sell at. And more importantly, I want to know why. Explain why. Explain the situation. Explain your selling strategy. Not only for me to read, but also for others, right? I want my channel to be a platform where we can engage and interact with each other. Think about if someone makes a really good point that you never thought about, or you make a really good point that someone else has never thought about, and you can help their stacking strategy. I've learned so much from the comments in my videos. That's actually how I've learned the most from or about silver stacking was from you guys. A lot of you guys have been stacking a lot longer than me and know a lot more than me. And that's why I love the comments, because we're all here to help each other. And this video is a perfect way to do so. If you have a strategy in mind, a selling strategy, and someone has never even thought about their strategy, you could plant a very, very important seed and change the entire way they stack or how much money they're going to make at the end of the day. So I want this video to all revolve around selling and what that's going to look like. I'll explain a little bit of my idea, and I say idea because we never know for sure what's going to happen. Things are so crazy right now. Times are changing so fast and so unpredictable. We really don't know, especially when, right? We could set a price, but we don't know when that price is going to come up. A couple of years ago, I would have probably told you a different strategy, and not because of me, blossoming in my silver stacking journey, just because how much things have changed scenario wise. A lot has happened over the last year. So going, moving forwards, we have to adjust and adapt. I've been saying that a lot lately, but it's so true. If we're not adapting to what's happening, then we're already at a disadvantage, because times don't care whether you want to stack your strategy a certain way or not. If you don't adapt, then you're SOL. You're literally left behind. You can, and that's why I say not to invest emotionally, because emotionally is when you try to force something that is unforceable. You can't change what is. And that's with anything in life. If you don't want a lot of stress or chaos, just accept everything as it is, right? I used to ask one of my friends, how's he doing? He would say, I'm doing exactly how I'm supposed to, whether I like it or not. I just got to learn how to like it. And it's so true. Everything is happening. As long as you learn how to accept it, then, stop fighting it. And the more you fight it, the harder it gets. But anyway, that's a little life lesson. But we can apply that to silver stacking the same way. We can hate the times right now. We can hate the way that silver's going, or we could hate the price going lower or hate the price going higher. But if we don't adjust and adapt, it's only going to put us at a disadvantage. So right now, things are going to get crazy. Well, right now I know things are about to get crazy, and prices are going to be like a roller coaster. So, knowing my idea of a price is going to help me transform into next year, because I know silver's true value. If you don't know silver's true value, then your selling price should be very loose, because if not, you could sell way too early. And never sell all at once. I don't know why people have this like Pawn Stars idea. Remember that episode of Pawn Stars where that guy walks in, his like dad gave him a whole bunch of silver as a kid or something, and he dumps all the silver on the table, sells it, and gets rich right then? That's not realistic. Maybe in some scenarios, but how we sell is not going to look anything like that whatsoever. One, we probably won't be selling most of our silver. Two, well, definitely not a pawn shop, but even a coin shop. Never, by the way, never sell to pawn shops. Coin shops, that's okay. Pawn shops, no. Pawn shops will scam the crap out of you. Pawn shops will give you $5 for an American Eagle that's worth 30. Your coin shop will probably give you around 28. Pawn shops, though, they rip you to pieces. That's a straight up scam. Don't ever sell to a pawn shop because they don't go by spot price. Now that we got that out of the way, I'm probably going to sell a little bit, maybe 10-15% at $50. And you might think I'm crazy for that, but I understand silver's true value. And look at it this way. I don't plan on selling for another 15-20 years. So if silver hits $50 in the next couple years, yeah, I'll take some profits. But I'm not going to sell my stack that early when and think about in 15-20 years how many things could happen and how much the price could be affected. Think 20 years ago. Silver was $50 not even 10 years ago. So if you don't think it's going to hit $50 again in the next 10 years, you're crazy. So this is another variable. Besides the unknown variable that we'll go over in a second, this is another variable. How long until you're willing to sell, or what's your time frame? If you're only going to be stacking silver for 5 years, then maybe when it does hit $50 in a year or so, you should sell all of it. It really depends on when your exit strategy is. Maybe you're looking to retire and just get out of the investing game and you're willing to sell at 50. So if silver hits $50 in the next year or so, and that's the top, then sell. Because if not, if you wait and don't sell, that might be the last time we see $50 for a while. So you might have lost your opportunity to maximize your profits. Now, I don't want to make this more confusing than it is. As time goes on, you'll know what to do. I'll be making videos helping you guys, right? There's a lot of different scenarios right now because we're going over literally, the next 50, 60 years of scenarios and price changes. So don't get overwhelmed right now. On a day-to-day basis, we're going to review what's happening, and that's why you got to be subscribed. Because I always got you guys. I'm going to talk about what the prices are doing, why they're doing that, and also more importantly, what you should do about it. So just remember that right now this sounds crazy, but I promise when the time is here, you're going to be okay. And as long as you keep making the right decision, as long as you keep making rational decisions, I'm sure you're going to be financially free. Now, I really do want to know what your price is and why. And there is a lot of variables like we talked about, but there's also a lot of unknown variables. Last year, you could have asked me what the price of silver would be next year, and I would have been way off. You want to know why? I had no idea there was going to be a global pandemic. No idea. Nobody did. So all the price forecasts, all the price predictions from last year are way off because nobody could have predicted a global pandemic. Now, moving forwards, nobody can predict when the pandemic is going to end. We just had Thanksgiving, Christmas, and New Year's coming up. 3 holidays where people are all gathering together. If you don't think COVID numbers have already quadrupled in the last week, then you're living in La La Land. Here's a slight glimpse at how severe COVID cases are going to jump. Canada had Thanksgiving in October. Canada's numbers after October skyrocketed faster than any other country in the world. And Canada's a very small country compared to the United States. So imagine the United States, much bigger than Canada, having Thanksgiving, which Canada did, Christmas, which is even bigger than Thanksgiving, and New Year's when everyone gets together as well. That's 2 other holidays all within a couple month period. If you don't think COVID is going to rapidly increase, then you're living in la la land. And we have to accept this. You can try to sweep it under the rug. You can try to think out of sight, out of mind, but doing that's only going to put you at a disadvantage, because you're trying to forget, you're trying to, to put yourself in a place that's not real. You got to be real. This is happening, so we have to accept it. We have to. We can try to sweep it under the rug, but what good is that going to do for us, especially as an investor? So knowing that, we know that there's probably going to be a lot more lockdowns. There's probably going to be even more stimulus, more businesses, more unemployment. We know what that does to the dollar, so we already have a little head start on next year. Now, how long is it going to last? It really doesn't matter from an investing standpoint, because we're going to be going from a day-to-day perspective, gauging it, monitoring it, and we can adjust and adapt. Now do you see why it's so important to adjust and adapt? Because if you stick with one strategy, that strategy won't always apply to the scenarios moving forwards. Just like the people that started stacking in 1980, they had their strategy set in stone, but now we're in the digital age and they're still trying to go about their ways, and they don't like crypto. They don't like all this new digital stuff, and that's perfectly fine. But if you want to maximize your portfolio, then you have to adjust and adapt, or you're still sitting under a rock, missing all this profit, all these profits, right? So anyways, moral of the story, think about your strategy. You have to. The quicker you start thinking about how you're going to sell, the more prepared you are. I don't even buy a coin until I think about how I'm going to sell it. When I'm looking on AppMex and I'm about to click buy, before I even click buy, I'm thinking, how will I be able to sell that coin, right? And that saved me from a lot of bad purchases. And we could even talk about safety net, right? A safety net. What's a safety net? This is I made this term up. I don't know, maybe someone had before, but this is what I call a safety net. When impulse buying or panic selling comes in, people that happens so easily because people don't have a safety net. So I've put this formula together, this little tool, to prevent that. If you're going into a local coin shop, if you're going into AppMex to buy something, when you're on the spot, you make impulsive decisions. So before you go into the coin shop, say, I'm not going to pay more than $35 for an ounce of silver, and put 35 in your head, and do not go above that. Just like on AppMex. Put that in your head, do not go above it, because impulsively, it's easy to justify, especially if there's, a local coin shop owner talking to you through it. Don't go above that. And same goes with selling. If you're about to go into your local coin shop and you have some silver, say, I'm not going to sell less than $34 an ounce, and stick with that number. You have to do that, because impulse buying and panic selling is such a real thing, and so many people fall victim to it. So anyways, I think I've gotten my point across. This video is going to be very, very engaging, audience engaging, but I mean with you guys as well, with each other. I want to see the comments flooded with you guys talking to each other, talking about strategies, agreeing, disagreeing, but respectively. I want you guys to drop your knowledge. This is the type of video where you guys can really tell me what you know, right? You could show off, right? You could even show off. Say, if you want to write a paragraph on selling, right? Kind of like I did explaining, do it. Because I really want you guys to have the best insightful information from other stackers than just myself. Because I can only bring one side to the coin, pun intended. Other people have different, have different ideas, different strategies. So I really want everyone to have a very resourceful, thought out video, and I can't wait to see what the polls look like as well. Thanks for tuning in. This was Silver Slayer. I'll see you guys soon. Peace.